Are you not feeling comfortable with yourself, not feeling comfortable in your own skin? Well, with Valentine's Day coming up, I really wanted to talk about this in this episode today and some points around how you can get more comfortable with yourself today. Okay, so for me, I decided to talk about this because Valentine's Day was coming up. And do you know what? I've got to a place, I'm a single man and I'm being transparent as possible and honest and open. I've got to a place where I'm very comfortable being with myself, and I haven't always been. And even when in my 20s I was single and I was like thinking, oh, I can't be alone, or I was on my own, I would try and do something socially to like I was terrified to be alone on a Saturday night. I would be like, right, I've got to go out. Like I'd be more comfortable going out, spending loads of money, getting really drunk with my friends after football, whatever, and doing stupid, not always stupid stuff, but like just forgetting parts of the night. And yeah, my wallet, my money going downhill, and then my health not taking a knot for a few days, just being really knackered from it all. I take that over sitting with myself and being alone on Saturday night. And do you know what? I'm in a place now and I really enjoy just being with myself. And I'm not saying, by the way, I want to be really clear that I'm not open to having a relationship with the right girl when she comes along, or I'm not open to socializing with other people because I absolutely love socializing with other people. I'm saying I'm in a place now where I'm very comfortable being with myself. And I used to be like in a point where I'd be like so insecure people saw me walking around on my own. That was mental, right? And I know I'm not alone. I know maybe you've got that challenge. It's no judgment, It's just crazy how much progress I've made, right? And I really want to help you feel comfortable with yourself. This is not an episode on like how to have a happy 5-year marriage because I've never been married, right? So I wouldn't be talking about that. I'm talking about how I've really found joy and contentment and happiness just being by myself. Now, I'm also someone who's, yeah, like I say, never been married and had challenges in my life to have like a long term relationship, right? Been on plenty of dates, but I used to be in a place where it was just like, oh God, I really hope she likes me. I really hope she likes me, and all this kind of thing. Now I'm just like, you know what? If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. And then I've noticed that in my dating life, like the end of like last year, it was improving. It was like, oh well, wasn't meant to be. The old me, even a couple of years ago, would have been like, oh my God, it's really got to work out. Um, so I thought I'd talk about this today and what you can really do and what I found best effective because I'm just so happy right now. I never thought I'd be in this place of, and like I say, like I definitely welcome. You need other human beings. I believe I like other human beings in my life, right? And I love that, right? And I make social efforts, particularly in person, very important rather than just being online all the time. But and I make time for that. But it's also so important as the foundation, I believe, to be comfortable with yourself. So the more I've enjoyed my company, the happier I felt as well. And therefore, the more productive I can be, the more I treat myself better as a result. And maybe you're someone who's just like, I need someone else, I need people to be around me to feel good. But ask yourself this, does that serve you? Because when people are gone or think like sometimes if you've got a supportive group of people like you're amazing, yeah, you can feel good. Maybe if you're dating someone and she's supported or he's supported or they're supportive, you're in a place of like, oh, I feel really good about myself. And I used to be like up and down all the time in that place, by the way. It was just completely reliant on external factors. But like, does that serve you? Because it's out of your control. And it's not saying that if someone says something nasty or things end or whatever in any kind of relationship, not necessarily romantic, but probably romantic, that you're not going to hurt, right? We're human beings, we're always going to hurt. But being in a place where you're comfortable with yourself and not being reliant from external things is things I really want to talk about today that I've worked through. So let's dive in it for you because I've certainly worked through that over the years. So the first is a question, the first point I want to share with you. What is it do you are seeking in other people, whether that's a romantic relationship, whether that's from other people, whether that's from approvals? We're in a world, and I've had to catch myself out for it many times, where we've got external validation. Social media makes it massive. Like there's addiction to dopamine, people liking our statuses, all this kind of thing. Like there's a lot of the world sets us up for challenges, but also for growth, right? It's a bit like there's loads of sugary snacks and bad food around in the UK, and I know there is in other countries as well. I've got friends in, and it's just setting you up for challenges. Like if you consume crap, you're gonna feel crap, right? And things like social media setting us up for external validation, which isn't going to make us feel good, right? But ask yourself this, and I'm not saying it's all bad, by the way. So I'm not saying you can't treat yourself, right? It's up to you completely what you do, right? I use social media, right? Sometimes I go on it a little bit too long, but I generally put boundaries on it, and I go there to post and share stuff. But the first thing is, what are you seeking from other people? What is it you're seeking? Is it connection? Is it like? Is it approval? Because writing down those things and then realizing that you can bring them into yourself is a really empowering process, I found. It's like, I want to feel like love and connection. Guess what? I didn't feel that of myself. When I start bringing that to myself, and there's going to be something, another tip I'm going to share that really brings that in, it really, really helped me. The second thing is, you're not going to like this. It sounds simple. It's very hard to do, right? Simplicity is different from being easy. Sitting with yourself for 20 minutes a day in silence, or walking in silence. Put your phone away. 20-minute alarm. If you want to put an alarm, you could put your phone in another room and then set the alarm off for 20 minutes or whatever you want to do, or use another timer. Sitting in silence, because it's a great way to connect with yourself and be comfortable with yourself. It is uncomfortable at first. You have to be uncomfortable to get comfortable. First, when I did it, my nervous system's like kicking off. I'm in like fight or flight. I need to be doing something. Oh, this is uncomfortable. This is uncomfortable. I can't be doing this. And then it's like, ah, I'm nice and calm. I'm all right. I'm connected to myself. I'm here. So that's the second one. Then the third thing is something called inner child work. And that's really a powerful one, going back to the first point I shared. It's connecting to like a younger child, but you're the younger child. Yourself is 3 years old. You may have kids, you may not. But if you can look at the younger version of you and start giving that child everything that you're seeking externally, then your relationship with yourself is a game changer. I will share with you. When I first started doing this, and I've done it, I've like, not every time, sometimes I'm just like giving myself a hug. Oh, I'm feeling really good. Are you happy, little Johnny, today? Oh yeah, I'm really excited. Great. Let's go and rule this day. But when I'd been like neglecting myself in the past, when I came into this, it was like tears. It was like, I'm so sorry for leaving you. I'm so sorry for not approving you. I'm so sorry for chasing after those people who didn't really like us. I love you, saying that to myself. And it was really powerful. Playing a bit of music can make it even more emotional and touching as well. And I know there's maybe some labels doing that as a man, but I don't care. It's, stupid not to love yourself, right? In my personal opinion. So, and that it like boosts my productivity. It boosts my relationships with other people when I have a better relationship myself. So it'd be, in my personal opinion, ridiculous not to do it, right? So that's something you can really do to connect with yourself. Okay, let's move on to the next point I want to share with you in terms of being comfortable with yourself. Do things for you that you enjoy and reduce the things you don't enjoy, and be very honest about yourself. Now, this sounds very simple. I want to be very clear on this, on what I understand by this, because I've had a new meaning to it. Right, I'm talking about things you genuinely like, not things you think you should like and you're trying to force yourself to. I'm talking about things you genuinely like, right? Even if they're a little bit weird. Obviously, make sure they're legal and things like that. But like, what I'm talking about is, for me, I'll use me as an example. What do I like? I really like podcasting, creating. So guess what? I try and fit in that a lot. I like creating content. I like interacting with people in person. So after football, I make an effort to socialize and, you know, cut my alcohol intake down on that one. But I used to, yeah, because I used to like really go out heavy like in the years and that would impact me and I wouldn't feel so good. So knowing that really made a difference. But I love sport. I love playing football. So I say I love sport. I love doing activities in sport. Um, I love hanging out with people who give me energy and are fun to talk to, and I can give to as well. Um, I love growing. I love business events. I love marketing. I love spreadsheets. Right? Not everyone does. I love like accounting and monies and numbers, and I've done a lot of that in like project consultancy and things like that on the cost side of things. That's what I love doing, right? Um, what don't I like doing? And this is just me being honest. I don't like rugby. I respect it and cricket. I don't like cricket, right? I did like playing rugby though. Actually, I did enjoy playing rugby. I don't like watching it. It's just boring for me. And this is no judgment. If you love rugby, do it. Like I think it's amazing. This is not like this is right, this is wrong. This is the whole thing. Like it's got to be relevant to you. I don't like watching rugby. I used to be like so against like I used to be like no rugby's crap and like people are like oh this is rubbish that's it's like no it's your own model of the world. Um, I don't like having meals with people, right? I love food. I love food, right? I'm a big foodie. I love food, right? Um, but I don't like, and I love socializing as well, right? I love talking to people, meeting people, and the right people, and I energetically know who they are in my life. But I don't like those two combined. And actually, it's funny. I went to visit my family the other day, and my mum, who's a very amazing human being, bought me some treats. She bought me my two favorite chocolates, but they were combined, and I didn't like the combination, but I liked them separately. It was like uh, chocolate like fingers, and then like Bourneville, which is a type of chocolate, and then it was like those two combined, and I was just like, yeah, this isn't for me. But I like them separately. It's like socializing and people. Like I don't like sharing my meals with other people like, at all. I just to be honest, I love eating alone. I love just eating, then going on to what I'm doing next, whether that might be going out and socializing, right? Or going and working on a project. I love working as well. That's another thing. I love working. It's like they say, don't work too hard. If you love working, why would you stop? Right? I'm not saying work 24/7 because obviously we need sleep, but it's like oh no, you're working too hard. It's like if you love working and doing what you're doing, that's why some people work 14 to 16-hour days or more, right? Actually, I wouldn't recommend more, but again, like this, just me. It's like if you love doing that and you know you don't have other responsibilities, or or you can minimize them, work if you love it. But if you're exhausting yourself from it, find other things, right? And you don't enjoy it, right? Okay, that one was a big point because I think it's really important, right? And then the final point, know your boundaries. Know your boundaries for other people. Be very, very clear. Like, who is it that um, that you're going to allow in your space? When do you need time alone? Be very, very clear. Write these down. What's like, that's okay, but I might have a word, and what's like a definite no. Like for me, I know I like people being honest, so I have to live honestly as much as possible, and actually that's my focus, living with truth. Um, and people respect me for being pretty real, and like I haven't always got it right, right? I used to be scared of what other people thought, right? And sometimes things are harder to be truthful about, but for me, that's a really big one. Like someone who's giving a load of fluff or like, oh yeah, I've got a lot going on, that kind of thing. Like that for me is like a definite right. No, let's not hang out again. Let's not speak for a while because I don't like this tentative. You're either like, yes, you want to hang out or no. Like obviously if someone's got a sudden like thing coming up, it's like that. And that relates to dating as well. It's like, oh yeah, got all these things coming up. It's like, okay, right, well, just be honest. So for me, boundaries are really clear and being honest and truthful is a really big one, right? Um, or it's like, okay, this week, for example, I've been making content as I record this. And I know it's like people are like, oh, can we speak next week? I'm like, we can't speak this week, but I can speak the week after. So that's made me more comfortable with myself. So therefore, I can be a bigger impact to other people. People think like it's selfish to think of yourself, but it's selfish not to, because you're a better impact on other people when you look after yourself, right? You are the number one person. Like you're like, oh no, these other, like my like children, my spouse, all these people are like I'm those are probably very important, right? All your friends, right? Very important. Like my family, very important. But it's like if I can't look after me, if I can't care for me, I'm not going to be much impact. It's like the individual is exhausted, worn out because they can't say no, and then suddenly they snap at everyone else because they're so exhausted because they're not getting comfortable with themselves and not setting boundaries. So think about it in that perspective. I encourage you to. As always, you can ignore what I say, but if you made it this far, hopefully we're going to get some actions steps for you. So that's what I got for you today. Just to summarize the points I wanted to share about getting more comfortable with yourself. Understand what you're seeking in others and then apply it to you. Secondly, sit with yourself for 20 minutes a day in silence. Thirdly, do some inner child work with yourself. Imagine talking to yourself like you are a young child and loving that child. The fourth point, do things that you genuinely like and reduce what you genuinely don't like, not what you think you should, what you genuinely love and don't love. That'll make you more comfortable with you. And then finally, knowing your boundaries, writing them down and being very clear. Now, there's 5 there. I'd encourage you to pick one. And if you just hear this and you're like, I want to make a change, I want to get more comfortable with myself, I'm going to do it. And you're thinking about it, don't. I say right now, right in this moment, declare which one you're going to commit to or something else to get more comfortable with yourself. Because if you listen to me now and then go, oh, I'm going to do it in future, you won't do it in future. You need to commit to something, right? So what are you going to do? What are you going to move forward? So I really appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed sharing this with you and hopefully you got a lot of value out. And remember to lead with your heart and not with fear.